Hello, hello, hello. We are making a video. With the blue god. And chicken. I'm not showing you. We worked hard this whole week at this house and property and garage, where we worked so hard that Paul and I have back pain, and also my feet hurt. It was a marathon, hauling of very, very heavy like 2x4, 2x6, 2x8 beams, like really, really heavy duty ones, like the ones that came off this deck that had fallen down with the storm that tore the deck down. And many of those boards ended up in the driveway with rusty screws sticking out, and I had to carry all of those boards. There were like 30 of them or something. I had to carry all of them from the driveway here all the way downstairs to the lower parking lot, and leaning them against the really large cinder block wall. And then I also cut vegetation with a cutter, with a large cutter, an extension cutter, a manual one. And that was a lot of work. I had to cut off spiky vines, and I had to cut rhododendron and oak tree branches, and all of that was growing way, way, way over into the lower parking lot. So I made it look really nice. Oh, baby, you look good. And look how good the baby dog looks. Oh, good, look how good the baby dog looks. Yes, the baby dog looks good. Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. He has love in his eyes. Yes, he does. Oh! Oh, that's why he was looking like that. He was looking because he wanted this. Yes, he wanted that squishy one. Yes, squishy one. No, you can't have it. You're gonna puncture it, and then the liquid will come out. Yeah, that would not be good. If all this liquid, I don't know what's some kind of gel in there, that will all come out onto my computer. Yes, baby dog, it is nice right now. He's sitting in front of the heater. It is below 60 degrees in the middle of summer. Yes, and I am sitting in my full winter gear. You better believe it. That is what I'm doing. So, a lot of work, This was a heavy duty week. Okay, real heavy duty. We made a lot of improvements for showing the property. I have worked on the entire upper parking lot. There was like an entire tree that was cut into separate limbs, and they were heavy. Each one of those limbs weighed like 30, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, and I had to haul all of that out there all by myself. I didn't even wear gloves, and I draped all of them artistically, as I always am artistic. I draped them into the corner of that parking lot and made sort of like a wall. I almost kind of made a hedge out of those cut limbs. And now it looks fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing now. Amazing. Yes, baby dog. You look amazing. Yes, you do. You look amazing, my beautiful, beautiful moo. And then I made something even more amazing happen. Paul worked so hard here behind that large window outside, right underneath the window, and with an extension electric cutter, hedge cutter, like a real dangerous looking chainsaw extension on a pole, hedge trimmer. My goodness, wow, that thing is real scary. So he worked for 2 days, tirelessly working and sewing off the confetti. There's a confetti ivy growing, and sewing off the rhododendron that's growing into that walkway, and he cleared all of that, and he cut I don't know, I would say, I don't know, that stuff's kind of lightweight, but he cut, the size of 3 people combined of that confetti ivy. You can lift that with your arms. It's not that heavy because it is a vine that grows into each other. It grows in a way, and it's like that stuff. I have to look it up. Confetti ivy. I don't know how this thing is called. It has little confetti hearts, sort of, and confetti discs as leaves, sort of like my little nail, like that size. That's the size of the leaves, like this ring finger nail and the little nail. So that's the size of those leaves. They are round or heart-shaped, and heart-shaped round, and they are very cute and very lovely, and it grows a whole lot of those, and the vines are like wire. You can't even cut that. You can't even tear it with your hands. You have to use gardening tools for that, and that is tough stuff, and tastes sweet. I've tasted some of the vines before, so it was a lot of work for him to cut all of that loose And then he took that, and you can't even separate these things. They are, no, baby dog, no, cannot jump on, no, cannot jump, cannot jump on me. No, you cannot jump. Yes, you cannot jump. No, I know you want this boy. I know. So, yeah, it is grown like crisscross into each other, like a nest almost. I think it is perfect for birds' nests. Like the eagles, the bald eagles, they would love to use that stuff and make a nest out of it, a humongous nest. And this stuff is growing all over that entire, there's an entire yard that is like a jungle, and that has all of these different rhododendron trees growing in there, shrubs with different pink shades, but the flowers have all come off now. And there's a large tree growing in there also, an oak tree and different stuff, and yellow flowers, amazing stuff, and spiky vines, and the confetti ivy is growing all over that, and partly already smothering the rhododendron brush, but that's nature. But Paul cut a lot of that loose because it was like the way it grew up on the balcony. Maybe I can show this. I can show this briefly. I don't know if it shows from here. You see in the corner there, you see that confetti ivy still hanging partly from that deck railing. That part of the deck railing is still there, and part of the confetti ivy is still hanging on it. So, but before he cut it, this confetti ivy had taken over almost half of this balcony door, and it looked like a big fat man was standing there on that deck, and it looked kind of scary at night. So humongous intertwined nest stuff that grew all the way up to the top of the balcony door, and almost covering like almost half of it, like more than a third. Amazing. So he had to, and also covering part of the other window too, so it was making it dark. And he cut a lot of that, and he also cut the rhododendron in front of my alien spaceship. So that looks also really amazing. Really gorgeous. And so now it lets more light in, and it looks great. He still has to cut off the last part that's hanging over there. So he cut off the stuff that he has cut off from that confetti ivy was the size of 3 big people, and all jumbled together, and also actually tall like me, and really big. And he laid it out there in front of the van in the driveway at first, and I said, okay, let me move it, and he said, no, don't move that over into the compost area, because then it will start growing there and take over and all of that. So you want to let that just sit there for a while, so that it is not going to start growing again. And I said to Paul, and that was yesterday, and I said to Paul, I'm gonna make a lounge chair out of it. And I was half joking, I didn't even know how to make a lounge chair out of this. So baby dog, no, oh no, baby dog. Oh, why? Why? Oh, baby dog, why do you have to do this? So then we have over there on the other side of the upper parking lot, we have the fallen Douglas fir tree. Paul, can you come here for a second? Paul, I need your help. Oh, he can't hear me. He's almost deaf. He's almost deaf. And it is very, very difficult for him and also for me. It is very difficult for family members when they have someone in the family who can't hear anymore. It's very, very difficult when you have to say everything 3 or 4 times. That causes me shortness of breath and causes me lung problems when I have to repeat everything 4 times or 5 times sometimes, or sometimes 10 times in a row. And he cannot hear it, and I have to come real close, and he can still not hear what I'm saying. And then he has to guess what I'm saying, and he guesses always completely wrong. And so, yeah, it's a good dog. So, it's very difficult to work with someone like this in construction, whatever you're doing. If you have to do things to work outside and you have to assemble whatever, wood boards and different things, and then the other person is yelling at you in frustration, anger, and out of hardness of hearing, like very difficulty, like almost deaf, and it's very difficult, very stressful. So, but we're trying to make the best out of it. I'm trying to make the best out of it. I have to look after Paul and the baby dog, after both, because Paul is very handicapped. He also can't carry very heavy things. I have to do that for him. The handicap part, I don't mind at all. I don't mind helping someone. I don't even mind working and looking after someone and cleaning the house and doing a lot of hard work. I don't mind. What's difficult for your nervous system, for my nervous system, for anyone's, I guess, nervous system, is when you're working with someone who is difficult, who is psychologically difficult to communicate with. Not just because he is hard at hearing, but because he gets frustrated very easily and he gets angry and he starts yelling, and he doesn't even realize that he's yelling. He doesn't even notice. He doesn't even know that he is getting very loud and very angry. So that's very stressful, and he makes a lot of very loud sounds in the kitchen because he can't even hear it. So to him it's like not a big deal to clap 2 metal pieces together as loud as it gets, right? It doesn't bother him because he doesn't hear it very much. But if I'm in the kitchen, and even if I'm not in the kitchen, even if I'm sitting here and he does that, it's very painful for me, for my nervous system, because I have Asperger's. So this combination, Paul and I together, each with their own handicap problems, and I have Asperger's and mental illness, and he's almost deaf, and he has anger and all of that, and irritation, and so this combination, it's a very difficult living situation, to say the least. I just want my haters to be very crystal clear about this, because I don't think they understand what I'm going through in this life. Okay, they don't understand. They think I have it super easy. They think I'm a gold digger. I am not a gold digger. I wished I was. Send me a rich guy, okay? I'll love to gold dig. This is not gold digging, baby. Okay, this is dirt digging, literally. It literally is dirt digging, and I don't mind. The hard part of all of this is when Paul yells at me. That's the hardest part. When he gets mad at me and accuses me and insinuates things and accuses constant heavy accusations. And yelling, and that's hard. And clapping, metal pieces clapping together, that's hard. That's really harsh. And even though I said don't do it, he'll continue to do it. So anyway, I don't want to complain for too long. This is my situation. It's very difficult. It's not easy. I have to try to make the best out of it. And I am. I really, really am. I'm making an artwork in the garage out of an old water heater. I'm going to show it eventually. I'm gonna take my computer down there eventually. I guess once it's finished, I'm gonna go into it and take photos of it and also film it for my channel because it's awesome. Okay, the name is Hermes Trismegistus. That is the name of the water heater assembly artwork. Okay, so the water heater has received antlers. There were 2 pieces of pipe insulation foam that I painted white that I stuck on top of the 2 pipe openings on top of the water heater. Now it has these antlers, and I painted the water heater white, and I painted gray blue, the color of the deck that we still have rests of it in the garage. I painted hearts with that color from the deck, and I painted the blue god face, and I painted a flower on that water heater, and it looks really nice. It already looks amazing. It looks clean and great, and I'm just now, every time we're here, I'm going to be improving it, making it more perfected. And so once I decide it's finished, I'm going to film it, film this art piece. And that stays here, that stays in the garage, because that water heater was very old and rusty, and now it looks good. Okay, so, and then there's another old water heater, but that one is not rusty, and that one we're leaving in this gray color, like a gray brown tone. And that also got antlers, that because there are another 2 pieces of pipe insulating foam rubber, you know, those tubes that you wrap around pipes. I stuck those onto the other water heater, and now that one has antlers too. I call both of them Hermes Trismegistus. Okay, and then I am painting on a small piece of 2x4 that he cut. I don't know where he cut that off, but I always collect these pieces of wood because I like to paint them, make artwork out of it. So, and I'm making a dog. I'm making the blue god in dog form on that one, also with white and that gray, and I'm calling that the baby of Hermes Trismegistus. And Hermes Trismegistus is a teacher from like 5,000 years ago in Greece, ancient Greek philosopher and teacher, Hermes. I don't know what Hermes stands for, but Trismegistos stands for stands for 3 times great. And I thought Megistos also is related, that word is also related to magister, which means teacher. So teacher and greatness. So in the case of Hermes, this is very much the truth. Okay, so in the case of Hermes, he is really great, 3 times great, and 3 times a great teacher. An amazing maestro, magister. And that person is one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu and the Blue God and Gautama Buddha. That was one of his incarnations. And I started listening to the video of someone reading from the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus. And it's very interesting because he already, like 5,000 years ago, already was talking about the occult and was already talking about what Jiddu Krishnamurti is talking about. A lot of that stuff that seems for most people probably crazy, but it's actually the truth. So I will get more into this. So, but I made an amazing launch chair out of that humongous confetti ivy fat man. Okay, I lifted that confetti ivy fat man. I carried it over all the way to the fallen Douglas fir. The Douglas fir looks like a person with 2 large legs coming out, and they go down to the ground, and that has just the right shape for me to prop up that big fat confetti ivy Michelin tire man sort of monster, and put this up all the way up on it. And it's like springs. When you press down on it, it pops back up, because that vine is like, it's like wire. It's like a wire spring. It's amazing, that stuff. I'm also going to show it when I go down into the garage. I'm going to walk by that, of course, and show that as well. And I bedded it on there onto the Douglas fir in a way now where it looks absolutely fantastic. It doesn't even look anymore like just a fallen tree or just like some tree branch or tree trunk that fell and has never been moved or taken care of. Now it looks like a perfected situation, this entire parking lot now. I can't believe it. I thought Paul would have to do a lot of work of cutting it all, and that would be so much work of cutting that further and further and further. It's so much work to cut into that tree trunk. That tree trunk is like, that has both of these legs, as I call them, both legs have, each of these legs of the tree has, which are actually the arms that used to go up into the sky, but now it looks like legs. And each one of those legs has a diameter of 15 inches. And then the main tree trunk is like, has a diameter of like 30 inches. This is huge. A huge fallen Douglas fir. He has cut a lot of it off already because that was sticking way out into the parking lot. People would, when we show the house, people will probably have to drive their cars up and stuff. So now it looks fantastic. People can drive up now, and it doesn't look like rubble. It doesn't look like just garden clippings. It looks really, it looks perfect now. It actually looks like hedges now. It looks fantastic. And the lounge chair is the ultimate. This is really the ultimate. I am shocked at how amazing this is. I said that half jokingly, and then I just intuitively I picked this thing up, and it's pretty lightweight because it's just a bunch of coiled up vine stuff that is intertwined, and I bring it over there and I prop it up there onto it. I bed it up there. I sit on this. It squishes down like a mattress. It felt like a mattress. I lie down on it yesterday and today too. I lie down all the way down on it. It has lumbar support, okay, because the tree trunk underneath. And then it has these two legs where I can just put both of my legs on. And it is so super comfortable, and it's like the perfect back and body and hip and leg support. So it's absolutely fantastic. And when I lie down on that, I can even put my arms next to me because that vine is so squishy and it feels comfortable with my arms on it, even without the jacket, with just the t-shirt. My bare arms on that vine stuff feels really, really good. And I lie down on that, on my back. I look up into the real tall spruce tree and the real tall cedar tree. Several cedar trees that are growing into each other. And they're real tall. They're like a high-rise building tall. And I lie down there and I look up into the trees. And I smell the air surrounding me. And all the beautiful, gorgeous trees surrounding me. And the beautiful cedar trees in front of the house on this side and on the other side. And looking at the birds play in the branches. It feels so incredibly amazing. I wanted to share that in this video. It feels so incredibly amazing. Thank you, Blue God. Thank you, Blue God. The Blue God agrees with the numbers. So, yeah, and that's cosmic. That's cosmic joy. That's priceless. That kind of joy. If someone has money but they buy lousy launch chairs that don't even look good or something tacky, how can they enjoy their life, But if you make a launch chair out of fallen trees or out of scrap wood or out of whatever, out of something out of garden clippings that you don't even know where to put it. I see a lot of people, they dump their garden clippings on the cemetery there at the other place. I can't mention the names. People just dump. People dumping their own garden clippings over the side of the cemetery there. And they even have, sometimes have other trash in there as well that they don't. It's so sad. So instead of dumping trash on public places or some kind of place that people think is convenient for them to do, so that they don't have to pay the trash, whatever, the trash waste management place. And that's a subject that opens a can of worms right there. I mean, I can talk about that subject for 10 hours straight, but I'm not going to right now. So, and all of that, to charge people for bringing trash there, right there, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the average person is not going to pay. They're going to dump all of their trash, including furniture, into the wetlands at the bird sanctuary. And Paul and I have helped them for 8 months, but I'm not going to get into the subject now. I want to keep this subject relaxing, okay? But I have to mention these things on the side here and there, because those are issues that can be resolved easily, okay? Very easily, by not charging the customers anymore for bringing their trash. Okay? That's the first step. Second is they have to give people an incentive to bring their trash and their furniture over there. They need to be incentivized. Okay? I can go on and on and on forever on this. But there are solutions to every single problem. There are elegant solutions. Several solutions. There are ideal solutions. There are the most amazing solutions. They are fantastic. There are stellar solutions for every single problem. That's what I learned in my life. And I also follow the flow. I follow my intuition. The flow of the infinite cosmos. Not the flow of the public. I question the public. I question the public consensus. I follow the flow of the infinite cosmos, the flow of nature. Okay. I follow that, and I let that intuitively guide me. And that's how I created that lounge chair, that amazing nature lounge chair that smells like heaven. And it's like a mattress, and I can lie down on it and look into the trees. And it looks fantastic. It looks like a hedge. It looks amazing. It looks like a groomed hedge. All of this looks groomed now and amazing. And Paul doesn't have to do any more work on it. I saved us a whole month of work. I saved Paul a whole month of hard work by creating this. These are like art pieces now, made out of branches. And the sculpture made out of the water heater, that's really, really, really stellar and amazing too. All of that is amazing, and that gives me energy when I do something like this, when I create something like this. I get bursts of energy, and it feels fantastic, and it even helps to get rid of my back pain. And it even calms down my breathing. So my lungs, I have some lung issues. I don't know what it is. Could be heart related. I don't know what it is. But I follow Dr. Scholl's advice. I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not going to the hospital. Okay. I'm treating that with my own natural remedies that are growing out there in the garden. That's how I deal with this. So, in this video, I want to say to everyone, the blue God loves all of you and all of us and all living beings, and Baby Dog and Paul and me and Sandy and Elon Musk and even Mark Zuckerberg, even all criminals, even all mafia people, equally much. Just wanted to say that. I think it's important that I say this. It's important that people understand this. That people know that they are infinitely loved. I need to shift a little bit. My back hurts. Oh. Oh. I already have a lumbar support pillow in my back, but that squishes down very fast. And something is in the microwave oven, and Paul is outside doing something else. And it's gonna be beeping for an hour now. That's why I'm against all of these beeps things. I'm against microwave beeps, and I'm against washing machine beeps, and I'm against dryer beeps. All of these beeps are like so uncomfortable for someone like me with Asperger's. Oh man, you have no idea how uncomfortable those beeps are. They sound like industrial sounds. Really bad. Really squeaky. Awful terrible. Awful shrill. Also, the car key makes beeps like this. When the car key, the van key is in the ignition, and the seat belt is not on, or the door is open, then it keeps on beeping, and it keeps on beeping. And I have to take the keys out every single time. And I wonder why are those beeps there? Who are they alerting? First of all, they're not alerting Paul. Okay, that needs to be said. That needs to be, first of all, very much understood. So it's not alerting anyone. A young person wouldn't even need that. They already pay attention to all of this. An old person like Paul would need something to alert him, but if he can't hear the beeps, then what good is it, right? Then it's just there to annoy me. That's all it does. So, that's my situation. It has yin and yang. That's the yin and yang of my life. Yeah, that's existence here on Earth. I guess, some people have it better than others, of course. It's not like everyone has these kind of difficulties or handicaps or whatever, with Asperger's and gets annoyed by shrill sounds or something. But it's pretty rough. A lot of it is rough here on Earth, particularly the cruelty. The cruelty is the worst. That's much worse. Those beeps are a picnic compared to the cruelty that's going on in the world. The cruelty is what bothers me the most. Even Paul yelling at me, that doesn't compare to the cruelty that's out there in the world. And that's why I'm here and not out there in the world. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I'm putting up with a lot of stuff here, but I'm also making the best out of it. I really, really am making the best out of it. I'm making the absolute best out of everything. And that's a philosophy, and it's a lifestyle. And it's an inspiration. and it's the healing path, and we all can do it. Okay, we all can do this. We can all go on the healing path and really find the absolute best solution there is. So for my haters, my advice is the very first thing you have to do is you have to quit the stuff that is making you sick. You have to quit all the stuff that makes your body and your mind sick. You know what I'm talking about. Even though you're probably not gonna want to know. You're not gonna want to think about it. But you know deep down what I'm talking about. You have to quit drinking alcohol. You have to quit taking street drugs. You have to quit taking cocaine. You have to quit taking pharmaceutical drugs. They're poison. Okay. So you need to become very crystal clear about this. You need to start taking bentonite clay every day and drink a lot of pure water and pure herbal tea. And that you have to drink a lot. Anyway, either way. And when you take the clay, you have to take at least 1 large tablespoon of hydrated bentonite clay, either calcium bentonite or sodium bentonite clay, every day. It's a lifestyle. It's going to heal you, it's going to detox you. But it's a whole lifestyle, it's not just some kind of diet. Okay. So this is a lifestyle, this is the healing path. You have to do that for the rest of your life. And so do I. It's a lifestyle, it's the healthy lifestyle. Okay. And then you get well, and then you will heal, and then you will have better thoughts. And you will understand things better. You will start to understand how you have acted in the past. That it's criminal, that it is unethical, that it's toxic, it's poisonous how you have interacted with other people. It is violent how you have interacted with other living beings. Okay? So you become aware and you can cry it out. You can understand now that violence is not the path. War is not the path. Okay? War is never the solution. Retaliation is war. It's not the solution. Only love and peace is the solution for the world, and this is the truth. So, take care. Peace and love for all living beings.